Welcome to the IWillAim podcast. This is the Overcoming Life's Toughest Setbacks series. This is episode 1. No one outrun the universe. Learn how to embrace humility and acceptance, knowing you're part of a larger plan. With my guest, Andy Campbell. Welcome, Andy.
I will. It's good to be back.
We'll dive into the first core belief that you have in this book. The core belief says no one outrun the universe. Can you help us unpack what that means to you and how it shaped your response to the trauma and loss you've experienced?
No one outruns the universe. And the way I incorporate that core belief is it is a reminder to me that I know how I should behave. I don't often do that, but I know how I should behave. I have seen what success looks like and what failure looks like. I've seen people who have gone through terrible things and they have recovered. I've seen those who have gone through them and not recovered. I've seen redemption and I've seen, condemnation. I think we observe all of these characteristics of the universe, and it really, for me, doesn't get super complicated. It's just a reminder to me to know that I'm not smarter than the universe. I'm not going to come up with something the universe has not already been prepared for. And that whatever circumstance I am facing, and this is kind of how I bring it down to, a level that I can deal with when I have faced a number of challenges. There is nothing that I am facing that the universe does not have the strength or wisdom to help me survive. If I will just listen, if I will not fight, if I will not struggle against it, I believe the Creator has put everything here. There's nothing that has happened to me that has not happened to others. There's nothing. I may have had a number of things happen to me, more things that have happened than people have had happen or that they recognize, but there's nothing new under the sun. So that kind of sturdiness to the universe offers me a way to take a breath and kind of just be humble and accept that the universe will always function the way it was designed to function. And if I function inside its rules, my life will be better.
The fact that you mentioned there's nothing that happened in your life that had not happened to other people. In a way, you could draw that parallel and experience and see how other people have adapt and adjust accordingly. And that's also the reason why we're doing all of this episode is you're sharing with people what you've experienced and how you cope with things and how you want to inspire them to give them hope to kind of move forward.
Yeah, I mean, I would like people to know that in their moment of despair or depression or loss of hope, that, and it may just seem like everything's coming at them in a very chaotic way. It's overwhelming. And in that moment, it may be chaotic. But in the universe in which we exist, it is not too much for us. Like we just have to think about a longer time horizon. And so, that's what I would ask people to do is do not lose hope. Do not lose the meaning in your life. Do not give up on life. Do not allow yourself to be defeated. You can feel defeated today, but just know that there is a larger universal order and that you are not alone. The universe knows you're here. The Creator, in my opinion, the Creator knows you're here. You are seen. And the universe can and does move in our favor. We have to give it time. And so, like I said, it is a reminder to me, and what I would share to others is accept that the universe has a way to help you through your circumstances. You are not alone.
I think what I could add one core message is really believe that you could overcome the situation.
Yeah. And you have examples. I mean, there's nothing that we're going to have happen to us that has not already happened because the universe is designed under a set of laws that it functions under. So everything that is happening has happened. Like it's all a function of the universe itself. So we can look and say, I looked back at my ancestors. How did my ancestors survive? I looked at them to them for inspiration. These are people who lived with no indoor plumbing, no toilet paper. The women of my female ancestors had no sanitary products. They had children at home in, very rural settings, right? I mean, and so how did these people survive? Have I really encountered something that no one else has encountered? So even though I may feel alone, in the whole universe, I am not alone. There are people who have overcome these circumstances. And I would encourage people to know that no matter how alone you feel, do not give up and just humble yourself before the Creator and the universe that we live in and know that you can survive. It has been done before.
One of the things we talk about is acceptance and humility, right? Especially when you're feeling the chaotic situation that you're in. How does one person surrender their strength to the universe? How do they give it to the universe to take care of what they're going through and help them deal with it?
Yeah, so this happened to me when I was, I kind of, this specific question you're asking, the example I'm going to use came just after I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer. What I would say to those listening is that you are better off conserving your energy and having acceptance that what you're going through, the universe has a way to help you get through it, than to spend your energy struggling against what the universe is presenting to you. So I think the acceptance, when I was diagnosed with stage 4 pancreatic cancer, and maybe after all the other things that had happened to me in my life, I was literally out of ways to try to control the situation. I had finally come up against something. I never thought I would get pancreatic cancer. I thought maybe because of my mother's history, I would have prostate cancer, like she had breast cancer, I would have something that was more common. And so I realized in that moment that all the years I'd spent trying to control the universe, trying to control my part of the universe, it was actually, there was nothing I was controlling. What was going to happen happened. What people did to me, they did to me. What I did to myself, I did to myself. What was just going to occur in the natural order of the universe had occurred. But there actually was something very freeing in that moment of just kind of surrendering to, I will do my part, but I will not work to control the universe. Because you can't, right? You think you're controlling people. What you're really attempting to do is control the outcome of the universe. And we as individuals, we can't. So once we kind of surrender to that acceptance, and I'm not saying we surrender, that we accept death or we accept the tragedy, or I'm just saying once we surrender our struggle against the universe, the circumstances that we find ourselves in, I think it's very freeing. And what it does is it allows our spirits, our souls, our minds to use that energy to be more creative about our circumstances, right? So instead of struggling and fighting like someone gasping not to drown, sometimes they say, if you don't want to drown, then stop struggling so hard, calm yourself and, find a way to go with the flow. And I think that's something that we can take away from this. That's how I've used it. And paradoxically, I became stronger when I stopped struggling, when I accepted the situation I was in. I was accepting that the creator and that the universe would provide to me what was needed. I actually found strength in that. I didn't become weaker from not struggling. I became stronger.
Just for context for our audience, you mentioned about you was diagnosed with pancreatic cancer. Can you just give a context of when did that happen?
So this is 2025, and I was diagnosed August of 2018, so I'm coming up on 7 years from a stage 4 pancreatic cancer diagnosis. I'm extremely happy about that. I am.
That's an amazing journey. As we wrap up this episode, what's your key message to our audience? What must our audience takeaway be for this particular concept of no one outrun the universe?
To have confidence that, first, don't be so arrogant that you think you're smarter than the universe. Like you're going to figure out something new. What is today has always been. The universe is as it always has been. The other thing I would say is to have confidence that your life matters and that the answers for the struggle that you're going through are actually here in this life, in this universe. Ending your life won't provide answers. Giving up on life won't provide answers. But if you can humble yourself before this vast creation and you can surrender your control or your attempt to control it, and if you can just be in the moment, if you can just be, I believe that there will come to you a still small voice that will help guide you to the next season of your life.
Thank you, Andy, for your time. I really appreciate it. Thank you for sharing the message for this particular episode. Have a good day.
Thank you.